Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam or XJaws, and today I'm bringing you guys another gameplay commentary from another one of the new maps from the First Strike DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops. And today we're going to be going over the very last multiplayer map pack for me to give you guys my first impressions on, and that, as you can see on your screen, is Discovery. So what I found with this map, the first thing I'd like to let you guys know is that it really depends what game mode you're playing as to whether or not this will be just a good map, an okay map, or a great map. So what I found is that for Demolition, this map worked phenomenally. I really like the way it played. It seemed that because of the fact that there are limited ways to get from one side of the map to the other, a lot of the traffic, as will pretty much always happen, or a lot of the shooting was, from one side of these bridges or passages, whatever you want to call them, to the other. And I really liked that, and it was really like, if you could make it past the bridge, if you could make it past somebody sitting on the other side of one of these passageways, then what you could do is, infiltrate their spawn and really kind of change the tide of a game. But for Team Deathmatch, it didn't nearly work as well. Now, I know this is a Team Deathmatch game, and I was able to do well, and I don't want that to mislead you. Even though I was able to get a good score in this game, my deaths were because, not always, but because of the fact that the spawns were a bit of an issue, and that is what you're going to find a lot of the time when playing Team Deathmatch on Discovery. The simple fact is that because most of the people just want to get from one side of the map to the other, and all the traffic is going to be over the 4 or 5 different, ways you can get from one side of the map to the other. What happens a lot of the time, if you're only playing a 6 versus 6 game like I am right here, the spawns will switch. What'll happen is because you have 6 players on each side, 5 players, maybe even 4 players, the multiplayer matchmaking system isn't that great. Sometimes, you end up with those real small games where nobody else is joining. Well, what will happen is you won't have people covering all of your bases. You won't have people watching, the really long bridge all the way on the right. You won't have somebody watching the middle bridge, or the ones all the way to the left, or the one in the middle of the map. One of those isn't going to be guarded. Usually several of those aren't going to be guarded. And when a couple players, 2, maybe 3 players, get onto your side of the map, it really messes things up. First of all, a lot of people get caught off guard. Maybe not yourself, but your teammates might if you're not playing with good players. And if they get caught off guard, they're going to die. Their other teammates are going to die. Spawns are going to switch. Happened a couple times to me when playing Team Deathmatch, 6 versus 6, or however many players were actually in there, It's not that reliable, as I mentioned before. I'm not here to bad talk the spawn system, but you understand what I mean here. What'll happen is you'll go from one side of the map to the other, back and forth, and unless you got constant UAVs and the enemies aren't using ghosts, or you got blackbirds, it can be difficult to really pinpoint where the other players are. However, for Domination, I really like this map. My only problem is the fact that the B flag is on a bridge, and I just don't like that in general for any map where it's on a really narrow strip of land. Same thing goes for Berlin Wall. The fact that you need to be within that really tight corridor in order to have access to B, it really limits, the way the map plays. The Berlin Wall actually isn't as bad because of the fact that it's really difficult to get a grenade to that spot, and it's also relatively difficult on Discovery. But the fact is if you have people covering over you from either one of the buildings here, or buildings on this side where I was just when I called in my gunship, or on the other side, if you're on that little overhang, you're going to be able to prevent the enemy from capturing B unless you get a really strong push, and it just sort of makes for choppy gameplay. But I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression by sort of saying that sometimes there can be some problems with it. This is a really good map, and even though it's pretty large, it plays really well. And that's usually the difference in what makes a good 6 versus 6 map as to what makes a good 9 versus 9 map. A lot of people don't know, but I think most people know who are fans of mine. My primary game type is Ground War. I've gone to Ground War way back since Call of Duty 4, and it is my favorite game mode to play. It used to be a toss-up between Search and Destroy and Ground War, but no longer do I really enjoy the slow-paced, tactical nature of the Search and Destroy game mode. What I really enjoy is constant action. I constantly want to be in gunfights, and it doesn't mean that I always have to be winning them, but I want to at least, have something going on my screen at all times and be worrying about either killing someone or being killed. And when you're playing a really slow-paced game, it just doesn't do it for me. So This map isn't that great for a 6 versus 6 game mode, but when you have lots of action going on in a 9 versus 9 game mode, I really enjoy it. Same thing goes for maps like Array, same thing goes for maps like Derail back from Modern Warfare 2, Block way back in Call of Duty 4, that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's kind of what I was thinking about when I was playing this map, is that it's a good ground war map. Anyway, guys, this game is wrapping up. The final score is 30-4. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Please give the video a thumbs up rating. It really helps me out, and it only takes a fraction of a second, so I really appreciate that. Rewards me for the time and effort I put into making these videos for you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.